Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mustard! Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Yo, woo! We live. Rumboyz After Dark. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that if you are a veteran of the channel, make sure that you go ahead, you take that link, and you share it on all of your social media platforms. X, Blue Sky, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever you got, make sure that you drop that link over there. Tell everybody where you hanging out and you chilling tonight. You already know what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, yo, really quick, shop the GLD. Shop GLD. Get like me, rocking the Commander's chain. You already know what it is. It's football season. We in full effect. Hey, yo, take them to the yacht. Show them some of the products that we got.
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no one zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her when you're not.
Lisa, I see you up in the chat with that. Rah. What's good? What's good? What is up, Daniel? Yo, year. Aiden, year. What's good? What's good? What go on, boss man? What's good, Tree? What's good? What's good? Yo, if y'all have not heard the new Kendrick, please go check that shit out. Cause if you just randomly hear me scream mustard, you already know what the fuck the vibes is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting this show off. We run a quick 2-man really quick until Mike, he settles in. He's dealing with some LA traffic right now. Everybody in LA is in traffic because the new K-Dot just dropped, so they all in traffic, chilling, got the low rider shit smacking. So Mike will be here soon, but we do have TDS Taco.
Bro, tell me Man in the Garden doesn't go hard, bro.
Man in the Garden goes hard. I think that the reason why
I deserve it all.
Yeah, I think the reason why TV Off is my favorite is because that little outro is lefty gunplay. And like, if you know anything about LA street politics, like certain sets and of certain races don't get along with each other. I mean, and like on that, first off, on the whole album, he had Mexican rappers on there. He had, the black rappers on there. Like, he had, some of the homies from Rosecrans, he had some of the homies, from like overall Slauson and shit. It was just crazy. It was crazy. It was a good album. It was dope. Me having grown up on Rosecrans to hear other rappers, not Kendrick, from my street, from my block, like all be on the albums. Like there's like 3 different Rosecrans rappers. And I was like, yo, this is crazy for like a kid that grew up in LA. It was great. We got to do a cheers. We got to do a cheers. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. Yo, Squabble Up was fire. Squabble Up was fire.
I hate that I didn't realize that I had shuffle on. Because when I listen to these albums, I like to listen to it in the order that the artist puts it. When you shuffle, you kind of sometimes miss a little bit. So yeah, I was fucked up when I saw that. I was like, damn it, I wanted to hear it track by track.
Are you on listen 1 or 2?
I'm still on listen 1. I got a couple. I didn't hear the Heart Part 6, which I know I got a bump.
Yeah, the Heart Part 6 goes hard. I definitely recommend on listen 2. Like you already kind of fucked up listen 1 because of like the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Listen 2, go in order and like go in the card, like give it the card test. Like
that's how I was rocking it.
Dog. I was in my girl's car. We ran into the lick real quick. We're gonna get to the show in a minute. We got some time because we got to wait on Mike and shit. You know, so we're chilling. Yeah. But like I was in my girl's whip, and like, you know, we were running to the lick and everything. And bro, like I was like, babe, I was like, I know that like I usually don't do this in your whip, but I'm turning this shit all the way up. Listen, not touch my stereo. I'm Michael Jackson. You Tito. Rush Hour reference for those that may not get that. Do listen to it while Daniel Jones got cut to McDonald's employment line. We are going to talk about that. We have a show.
I mean, I don't know who goes to McDonald's employment line with the stupid contract we gave him. My man is walking to the filet mignon line like I ain't got to work this week.
He earned 80 million of it. Let's go ahead. Let's get into tonight's show. Before we talk about Daniel Jones, we do have to do our Thursday night football recap. And oh, what a game it was. Famous Jameis sure is a national treasure, isn't he? Yeah. I mean, from media interactions, in-game sound bites, to even his pregame speeches, just everything that we get from Jameis. The Browns look like a somewhat competent team with Jameis at the helm. After last night's win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, should the Browns use Jameis as a bridge quarterback and build up the rest of the team this offseason? You know, think about the future moving forward, so on and so forth. And then thoughts on the Steelers' performance and George Pickens' antics at the end of the game. He got into a fight, yeah, it was weird.
George Pickens is starting to get a little weird. Maybe not starting. Maybe he's been weird and now it's just being more exposed. Yeah, he's been a little weird. Like I don't know. He thinks he's something that he's not. I feel like he thinks that he's like old school AB. Sometimes I feel like bro, you ain't got the numbers to be acting the way you acting. Like, you know what I mean? Get a couple more yards and touchdowns before you think you could jump in some stands. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Just not really liking what I'm seeing out of Pickens. And truthfully, from a dynasty perspective, I don't fucking like this shit because I don't know how much Mike Tomlin's going to tolerate this bullshit.
How much he's going to keep tolerating it. Yep. If you notice in the post-game presser on the Steelers side of things, when asked about AB said he would come back and play for free. Tomlin walked off. Tomlin does not like crash outs, and George Pickens is he's been acting like a crash out. So I'm in agreement with you there. His antics are not very team friendly. They're not very locker room friendly. No. If I'm the Steelers and I'm drafting a young receiver, you know, like to help Pickens out, I'm worried about the example that Pickens is setting.
Yes. And you just saw what AB can do and will do. So it's just kind of like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay, so hey, there's our thoughts on the Pickens antics. It seems like we're both in agreement there. Yeah. What are your thoughts on, you know, the Browns maybe utilizing James?
I've been very adamant in my belief that Jameis deserves another shot. Like when he was in New Orleans, he showed enough in comparison to what these other quarterbacks are doing, even for some of the rookies, like you said, as a transition year. But I don't know how much that transition year should be for the Browns, because I'll be honest, man, with having Deshaun Watson under contract, you know, I almost feel like you're better off investing in that rookie quarterback because you get that longer window to build with versus Jameis, where you might get him and you get a couple pieces and then all of a sudden he's gone and now you're kind of back at square one, or, you know, he doesn't really ramp up. So I just don't know how much they should invest in Jameis. I think they should let him go to another team. And I think that next year we should see Jameis on a team starting and being maybe a transition.
Do you think with the direction that the NFL is heading to, where do you think that he could be a solid bridge for another team? I feel like in a way,
look at Sam Darnold.
Yes. And I was going to get there. Do you think that the city of Cleveland, and, you know, when you think about the personality types and the ups and downs that they have been through, the fact that I feel like the fact that they actually do have to build up the rest team. You're using Walmart rack.
Yeah, don't they have a quarterback that was hurt that had some upside as well? The third string quarterback,
DCR.
Yeah, like I think at this point, you kind of like what Jamie's like. He's good, not great. Like to me, he's the kind of guy that should be on the Giants next year, or like a team like that, like where it's like, you know what I mean? We're coming back around. We might have a rookie quarterback that might take over in a year or two. Let Jameis come in because he seems to be a good locker room guy. He seems to be a guy that people will come out for. Like he may not be the like everyone looks at him, might call him doofy or whatever you want to call him, but these dudes like him. They look at the New Orleans game where afterwards every person or how many people came up to embrace him and like say what's up and everything of the short. So I think he's a good player still. I just don't think that Cleveland should probably go that route. I think they need a full tear down rebuild. So don't waste yourself for the transition quarterback.
I feel like for Cleveland, they're already in that full rebuild. It's a lot easier, I personally feel, to either free agency or, the draft's a little bit harder to hit on just because, you got to take time to develop the guy and so on and so forth. It's usually best that a guy sits behind, which we talked about on not last week, but the week before's episode of Rumboyz After Dark, because last week we called that shitty-ass Netflix special The Fight. But I think that with Jameis in place, I now at least is a perfect bridge, because now if I do bring in a Shador, a Carson Beck, let's say they draft a quarterback in this class, they can sit for a little while and kind of learn from a guy that really fucking knows the NFL, that really knows the league, not just on the field, but the business side of it as well, because Jameis has navigated it from team to team, different organizations. He's had different playbooks. He's had different play callers. He's had different lingo that he's had to learn. So he's able to pass an immense amount of knowledge onto the incumbent. Now, whether that incumbent would be in this draft or the next draft, which I feel like might be better suited for them, I think that they should be focused on bulking up O-line, bring in star wide receivers. I know that we're going to talk about your Jets later. But look at what you guys did with Neighbors, and look at how that's
Jets Giants.
I was talking about. I would never refer to you as a Jets fan. I do that like jokingly, but I always refer. I know that you're a Giants fan.
I did have a short period where I moonlit.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, well, even still, either one of those organizations, they got Garrett Wilson, then bring in Rodgers through free agency, which that didn't work. We're going to talk about that a little bit later too. But we see, Minnesota, utilize Minnesota as an example. Justin Jefferson, and then bringing in Sam Darnold. I think that it works already having the bridge there. The bridge is already built. Now let's just get vehicles across the motherfucker, and I think that Jameis is such a personality where even in free agency, guys are going to want to play for him. Whatever rookies get brought in, Jameis is such a good role model that no matter what position players you bring in, especially offensive guys, they're going to cling to him. They're going to want to follow him into battle. So that's my take on Cleveland.
I think agree with that.
Cleveland's in a good position right now.
But then what do you do with Watson? Are you like
do what the Giants did to Daniel Jones?
That is a possibility. I don't know, like after everything you've traded for him, I almost feel you're obligated to give him another shot while you draft a rookie, because they should be getting a rookie this year anyway. And you still have, like you said, DRC, who you might want to see what he has.
You said DRC, what the fuck?
You might want to see what he has, and I think that it's an interesting scenario because, truthfully, like Cleveland is in a fucking shit scenario. They have a decent defense, and everything else is kind of man.
You've already figured out what he is, and he's such a late pick to where you're not missing out on anything by letting him go If anything, you're freeing up some extra money to maybe put a better skill position on like a practice squad or, at the bottom of the depth chart. I think that if I'm Cleveland, I'm more inclined to free up, especially because I already have the Watson contract. You know what, Watson, you're staying on the bench. You're never fucking playing again. Jameis, you're the starter moving forward because we don't give a damn about this guy, despite the fact.
Think about that. How much have you invested in the quarterback between your rookie, Jameis, and Deshaun?
DTR's not an investment.
No, I'm saying they're going to draft a rookie this year. They have their own pick this year, right?
I don't think that they should. And I don't think that they do. They are in the top 3, top 5.
If you have a chance at Shador and you're fucking Cleveland and you pass on that shit, bro, that's a lot harder than saying that you got him and he missed. Because if you trade
other
him,
things, the thing is with Cleveland's construction currently, there's so many other things that are needed to where you're.
Oh, I agree. They need a lot.
What Cleveland can't do, what Cleveland cannot do, is keep repeating the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what they've done by, trying to address the quarterback position with such with such aggressiveness. I think that you go and you look at a guy like McMillan out of Arizona State at wide receiver, because that's really what you're needing. That's really where you're hurting. That's the real reason why you're not winning games. You're not.
They had how many fucking wide receivers this year?
They were all ass. You can't sit here and tell me that those were good receivers.
You can't tell me Cooper's ass.
Amari Cooper, never even fit in that system to begin with. That's what Cleveland was asking Amari to do, is not Amari's style of play. Like, they need to get a guy that fits their system. You have a guy right now at quarterback that fits your system. You try to go and do it with Deshaun Watson. Let's face it, mental health wise, after dealing with what he fucking dealt with, and after doing the egregious shit that he did, he wasn't going to be of any type of previous caliber of what he was. He was going to be a shell of himself. We all knew it. You lose Cooper, who again wasn't a fit in your system, and now you're running with Judy, Tillman, and Moore. You need an alpha dog at receiver. That is where they're really lacking. So what I'm thinking is, for Cleveland, go get McMillan, go get Tate McMillan. Or even if you need to, go get you a Travis Hunter, because you're high enough to where you might be able to get him, or even switch spots with Jacksonville, who we'll talk about later. And maybe make something happen that way. At least with Hunter, okay, maybe potentially I may have locked down 2 positions, type shit.
So I got a question. How do you think he's going to be a top 2 pick?
Who?
Hunter.
Yeah, he's going to be number 1 because he's going to win the Heisman. He's at this point, he's ran off with the Heisman at this point. No one's going to catch him. And that's no disrespect to Genty. That's no disrespect to Ward, and all the other guys that are in the race. It's
and not to veer off topic too much, but I have 2 quick questions then about him. Where would you rank him as a DB, just as a DB in this class?
Oh, he's definitely DB1. He's easily CB1. There's no question about it. There's no question.
As a wide receiver, where would you rank him?
I would. It's a splitting hairs between him and McMillan. There are things that Travis can do that McMillan is a better, just pure receiver. Hunter is a football player. So I can utilize Hunter in so many different facets, in so many different scenarios. Whereas, okay, if I take McMillan, I'm stuck. If I take a QB of any of those that are on this year's list, I'm stuck. Okay, if I'm Cleveland, I get a Travis Hunter, maybe I can maybe you're going to play receiver for me most of the game, but I can have a couple of packages where I plug you in at corner as well. Then I can also utilize you on special teams as well. Like with Hunter, I get a complete package.
With Hunter, would you would play him more at wide receiver than DB in the NFL?
It's gonna, you know how in corporate America we say business needs? It's gonna be dependent on my team needs. If I'm Cleveland, I'm looking at, the Denzel Wards, the Grant Delfits, so I have the defense for the most part built. So I would probably play Hunter for the most part on the offensive side of the ball. But Hunter's a guy that he's the type of guy and the type player to where whatever a organization, whatever a business chooses for him to do, he's gonna be successful at.
So he's a generational. He's like the Otani of football potentially.
Yeah, in a way, in a way. You're saying that Hunter's not Heisman. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but AP voting says otherwise. He's crushing Associated Press right now. He's crushing. Vegas has him so fucking far ahead. And a big reason why they have him so far ahead, I get that you want to bring Jincy up. The reason why Vegas has him so far ahead is because Jincy's not at times playing third and fourth quarters. I get what he's doing as stats and everything. If Jincy was doing what he was doing at anywhere else that's not named Boise State, I feel like it would have that it would almost be like pulling out a holographic Charizard back in the early 2000s, like that's how special it would be. But right now it's like it's still worth something. It's still big. But I mean, you even look at mock drafts, Jincy's going bottom half. He's going after pick 20. Like he's going like from 20 down because the NFL doesn't value running backs in that same manner, So, yeah, the Purdue kicker just had the most embarrassing kick ever. I'm about to get ready to watch my nephew on the other screen here because my nephew's he has a college basketball game. He plays for Colorado Mesa. So I'm about to watch my nephew here in a little bit. Motherfucker kicked dirt and hit the ball with his heel. I'm dead. Dude is acting like the Heisman is a landslide. I'm not saying that it's a landslide. I'm going off of what information is being presented and what information that we know. Where are you seeing Jincy mock to the Cowboys? Because I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing Cowboys being willing to go and do whatever it takes to get Shador, which, again, we're going to talk about later. I'm loving that the chat is on the same sentiment of what the show sheet is.
Although, I mean, if we're going to bring up Shador, I mean, I think he's probably the hottest name, especially when we see him liking the Giants post and they bringing them neighbors and everything.
He's the hottest name at quarterback. Yeah. I do want to keep things moving.
Yep.
Okay, so you feel that Jameis not the answer as a bridge quarterback. I feel like
personally, and again, maybe this is because I am a Jameis fan. I want him to leave. I want him gone. I want him away from the Browns and with another team being exactly what Sam Darnold is.
Because I'm a Jameis fan, I don't know how great the opportunity is going to be elsewhere. So I mean,
I could see him in Oakland. I could see him with the Giants. Those are just two teams on the top of my head where I can see him next year easily fitting in and being in a solid position.
Jameis doesn't deserve that tax rate.
Vegas, they don't got it.
Moving on to the next topic. This is about your New York Giants. What a wild week for Giants fans. Tommy Cutlets gets announced as starter over Drew Lock. Daniel Jones is benched earlier in the week, then released today after him asking for release because they put him back at fucking practice safety the other day. The media circus is just going in a frenzy over the handling of this situation. Outlook for DeVito just this week. What's next for Daniel Jones? And let's be honest, I mean, should Drew maybe have been given the opportunity? Like, when I see everyone's face in that locker room when I've watched everyone's interviews, everyone either A, looks super fucking pissed off, or B, just depressed. I know what your standpoint is as a fan. You're wanting, to tank and everything. The players aren't happy right now.
I'll say this. A lot of the players, like what they did to Daniel Jones was disrespectful. in the essence of he was your QB1 and then you had him running scout team. Like literally, that slide is like more than the Drew Lock was the way that you disrespected Daniel Jones. Because
disrespected both of your QBs. They disrespected both in the same breath.
I mean, the Lock. I mean that one. I really believe is the GM and the coach looked at him in an evaluation, and as you have him in house, they may have placed a higher evaluation on DeVito once you actually see him in person and you go against and you see what the offense is running. DeVito did win games last year, and there is more of a rapport with Dable. And if Dable feels more confident and that's his guy to try to get some shit done, then that to me is not as big of a deal as you taking a guy from first string, dropping him to scout team.
Is it Dable or saying that, or is it saying we've lost so much fucking money not filling seats? We need to fill seats this way by bringing in, the Paisan. What up, Nick?
Or maybe
long time, bro.
You're trying to tank without tanking, and you figure DeVito might fuck shit up more, so you don't want to risk putting lockout. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different ways they could do this, but the only part of it that is disrespectful is the way you treated this man. Because the one thing about Danny, is that he was a fucking professional from day fucking one.
No, he didn't. He had his damn agent on the sidelines, freaking making calls on a trap phone.
No. Who? Daniel Jones?
DeVito.
No, I'm talking about Daniel Jones.
Oh, okay, my apologies.
Daniel Jones has been nothing but class the whole way through, and all I'm saying is don't disrespect him. Like, okay, he get it. He ain't good enough. We get it, but you gotta fucking rub the man's face in the shit, and like you see him out there, and he's getting emotional because it's like. It didn't even see it coming. So, like, and everyone knows it's a business or whatever, but there's something said to fucking respect. And when you don't got no fucking respect, that's when people look at you sideways. Because if you're going to fuck my man like that, how you going to do me? Because you ain't paying me nowhere near as much. And that's what fucking fucks the shit up that people don't realize. You ain't got no respect for the room because the way you act and the way you move.
The message that it sends to any incumbent players and any players that are already there is like we don't. I hate to quote Future Metro, but we don't trust you. It is straight up. I mean, and from an organizational standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, at a certain point, you got to trust your guys to go out there and get the job done. And there's also something to say about a guy that's showing up to work every day and still putting it on the line for you. Hasn't really bitched, whined, moaned, and complained. Didn't really make a big media circus up until this moment, but you gave him the ammunition to do that. It's a spit in the face to the other quarterbacks that were already on that roster to bring in DeVito. I do agree here with Nick Howard. DeVito is going to sell more tickets. Period. He's popular. He's a popular Pete to the fans. I think that this is more of a holy shit. We looked at our financials. We need to put asses in seats somehow. And this is the way that I feel like the only evaluation that took place, because from a football standpoint, there's no planet, period. I don't care about what DeVito did, last year. If you go back and you watch DeVito's film last year, it wasn't even fucking great. I think that there is to say that they evaluated and that DeVito is going to come in and be some world beater and he's better than Locke and a veteran of Tim Boyle. I think that is completely preposterous. To have Daniel Jones dropped all the way down to QB4 on the depth chart and then have him running scout team after you did give him the big contract is preposterous. For the team to not go out there during the off season, for them, first off, to not give Saquon, everything they should. They should have just said, hey, we're not going to pay you, Danny, which you probably would have gotten more out of Danny this year. And they should have fucking paid Saquon. You see Saquon balling over in Philly. I think that convolutedly, like this whole situation has been so bad for New York that they deserve all the karma that is going to come back to them. This is the same organization. Okay. And I hate to bring up, shit that might have been swept beneath the rug. This is the same organization that had Phillip Rivers. Now, don't get me wrong, it worked out because Manning brought you 2 Super Bowl trophies, but ended up having to go Manning because Phillip Rivers, Manning more so was like, I ain't gonna play for the fucking Chargers. This organization forever has had issues like this. Last year you brought in Darren Waller, and that didn't work out. When is something going to work for Big Blue? When is something going to go in their direction? When is leadership going to take onus and say, you know what, we fucked up?
See, this is where it's a tangled web we weave, because I believe that Daniel Jones was forced by the owner, because the owner has a lot of influence on these guys, and they wanted to keep him longer than he should have been here. And I think that this year, what they're trying to do is make up for not getting the quarterback last year. And we do have a good pieces and structure. And everything that I hear from Mir is that he's going to allow these guys to continue, which in my mind's eye is an omission, without stating it, that more than likely Daniel Jones was forced on them for that contract because they wanted him to be that guy. He was willing it as much as he wanted because Gettleman loved him and he made the playoffs. And this is the guy. He looks like Eli. And this is where ownership sometimes, where they want to look at it from the marketing lens, like, oh my God, he's a great look that we want to have for the Giants. Because, I mean, we know the Giants' history. We know the look of the quarterbacks they like, okay?
It's New York. They like the you have to bring money.
Listen, man, New York is more conservative than you think.
Yeah, you can't just be a quarterback.
There's never been a black quarterback for the Giants. The Giants have never had a black quarterback.
No, yeah. Oh, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's why I know that. That's why I know for a fact they aren't getting Shador.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you, this year they're gonna be like, all right, brothers, we give up.
They did have Ty God. They had Ty God, but that wasn't a.
Yeah. Well, he didn't really play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literally,
fair shot.
Was he a starting quarterback? Like the actual starting quarterback? Not because he was hurt for a game. They had Geno for like a game. He was not like the starting quarterback.
Like they have never
never spent significant capital.
Never drafted.
Yeah.
A black QB. And I love it that you brought that up. There is something that the chat brought up over on Twitch. Let me take this shot for the homie Nick. Hey, I know that life's been life, same here. Cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly, love and appreciate you. Daniel Jones was listed on the Dallas Cowboys website today. I love this. Maybe it's just a meme. Maybe it's just something. Well, obviously it's not a meme because he really was listed on their website. I love this from a standpoint of, so what, you may have not been the greatest quarterback on the field. Step into this locker room. Give me all your dirty little secrets.
How about this? Give me that rage. I ain't got nobody to play for it. Go out there. You'll beat those motherfuckers. Thanksgiving we're playing. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah, I agree. The Giants should have drafted another weapon and get a guy like Darnold, Geno Fields, or another washout QB.
I wanted Russell Wilson so badly. Russell Wilson was a guy to me. I was like, get Russell. But they didn't really entertain him, or Russell was already set on going to the Steelers. But we need a young guy. We do need a young guy.
Jerry Jones is cooking with this lineup. DJ, Zeke, Mingo, Shoemaker. Nobody's stopping this offense. This is the solution for Dallas. Hot take. I think Trevor Lawrence has played his way out of Jacksonville. He might be available also, possibly Levis too. I think that Levis will be the move more.
Who
so
the fuck wants Levis? Nobody wants a mayonnaise drinker.
Yeah, no one wants Levis. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is the
except
NFL.
Hellman's. He can go work for Hellman's. They could do parfum, they whatever.
At the end of the day, this is the NFL. I mean, so we have to look at, if there's any sport or league where 100% history repeats itself, it is the NFL. I mean, the guys like Levis, Daniel Jones, they're going to get jobs elsewhere. When the phone rings, when a quarterback is, possibly goes down or gets injured and that phone rings, Daniel Jones is going to be the first call up. Maybe Daniel Jones needs a change of scenery. Let's face it, Daboll helped kind of put together a good chunk of that Buffalo Bills success. That is a very high caliber offense with a lot of lingo to be able to get down. Now, obviously, you should be able to get it down over the course of, a couple of seasons.
Yep.
And kind of going back to when we interviewed Daniel Jones, if you remember, hell, back in 2019, when I got done interviewing Daniel Jones, and literally when I walked off of set, what did I say? Out of all the players I interviewed, what did I say? All the other guys had the it factor. Something, he gives me this spoon-fed, silver spoon-fed type of, like, not to judge a man's upbringing or anything, but there's something to say about people that go through adversity. Like there's some, Kendrick Lamar is such a good rapper because of the shit that he's gone through and the place that he's come from.
It's like you want Tyrese from Fast and the Furious 2 when you do this. I'm hungry.
Like, yes.
I want that shit. Not just like, well, if it happens, it'd be great, but my life will be fine because I have my family and I have this degree and I'm very well spoken. Like, that's not, you don't need a backup plan when you're going in this shit. It's like, motherfucker, if I don't make it, like, they ain't eating. Like, we ain't eating. Like, you know what I mean?
Daniel Jones, you earned 80 million, not earned, you more so robbed 80 million out of your 160. Look, bro, go get you some real estate, open up, a real estate company, look, take a play out of Magic's book. Okay. But unlike you, Magic had the championships and shit. But life after sports can be very successful. Magic owned like 43 different movie theaters. I think like 20 different car dealerships.
And you got made more money in your career than Magic probably did.
I mean, well, yeah, there's more money to go around now than know. A man's eyes tell you a lot. He got those baby BDBs. Yeah, he's. I think that the Giants were kind of doomed from the start, but I do still wish Daniel Jones the.
You know who else has those eyes? Sunshine.
Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence's problem is everything else with that fucking team. I mean, it's just Jacksonville. We're going to talk about Jacksonville later on in this show, so I don't want to go into that right now because we do got a structure to follow. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. There's more issues than it being fucking just Trevor Lawrence. He's going to start a toupee salon shop. Oh my gosh. Hey, yo, look, that's sales right there. That's Houston Roughnecks, call his phone. I'm dead. As far as outlook for Danny DeVito this week, I'm not gonna get my hopes high. Mid at best. I'm gonna just call it what it is. Mid at best. Mid as fuck. I'm not in a rush to be like, it's Danny DeVito time and like sing in front of the
Danny DeVito.
It's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is literally sitting back and they're like, yeah, Mike Evans is back healthy, but I mean, we're only going to play him if we really need to, which means the Buccaneers are looking at you guys like a fresh chopped cheese out of Ox shop. So,
yo, they be putting some weird shit on those things, man.
Yo, they do.
I don't understand. Like,
where'd you put the cookie between the buns?
I want some watermelon on my eggs. What the fuck?
That was the blackest shit you could have fucking said. God, I realized where you went.
I didn't mean that. Can I say mango? Does that change the narrative?
No, hey, it's all good. It's all good. We already fucking went there now. So yeah, I mean that's really my take on New York. This season they did not have 100 guns and 100 clips. They were completely emptied. Everything jammed after fucking week 2, and
from the beginning, did I not say I was like he's pulling the tank job early? I called that shit fucking early.
Look, But you guys also didn't turn around. Like you guys,
dude, they had no kicker that week. I was like, what are you doing?
But not even just that. Not like your special teams is fucking horrible. Defense is
Well, the pass rush is elite.
And then you guys literally thought that you could get rid of Saquon, bring in Malik Neighbors, and like that was going to be a comparable replacement.
Tracy hasn't been bad. It's just that we have no quarterback. You give us a quarterback and the team looks different.
Tyrone Tracy hasn't been bad. He's no Saquon.
But like you said, the NFL doesn't value a running back. We can sign someone next year, draft another guy, have 3 guys in the backfield, and get a quarterback, and now all of a sudden, we back.
If you guys would have,
let's not forget, Robbie.
All right, I'm gonna do this before we get into the next topic.
And one thing,
I'm gonna do the woulda, coulda, shoulda. If you guys still drafted Neighbors, paid Saquon what he was asking, did not pay Daniel Jones, say, hey, you're gonna play out this last year, and it is what it is. I can almost. I'm not gonna use the word guarantee. Close to guarantee, whatever's close to a guarantee. I can't think of an adjective, close enough, but you'd probably be above 500. You would be a 500 team.
Andrew Thomas is also not playing, which is a huge loss. And then you still have Thibodeau that's been missing some games. So and the Neighbors missed a good portion of games, and there's been a lot of games that we lost close. So when you factor all of that in and you make it look, look at the Commanders last year. The copium and hopium is real.
Hold on.
You get the quarterback and everything.
Our situation is completely different. Our situation, yes, we did.
Get the quarterback and everything.
Hold on. No, that's not how everything changes. This is a fucking team game. All right. Did Jaden Daniels improve the quarterback position itself for Washington? Yes. We cleaned house from coach to GM to player personnel, senior football operations, VP. We cleaned house so much. And then when you look at what we did defensively, and there was a lot. I hate when people are like, Washington's good because they brought in Jaden Daniels. Yes, but you're also discrediting everyone else in that fucking building.
No, but you're also. But what I'm also saying is that there has been a lot of those minor moves on our side that will help us make that next step because of Andrew Thomas not being there, and because of what we've seen from the pass rush this year, and because we've seen positive signs from Tracy, and it does look like Theo Johnson can be an interesting player at tight end, and Neighbors does have a good opportunity on the outside to be something. Now let's bring in a T. Higgins. Let's bring in a rookie quarterback. Let's get another offensive lineman to add to this game, and now we're looking different.
You're probably not going to get a big name in free agency because of how this particular situation that we're currently talking about.
That's the last thing we need to talk about. The way they cut him, if they would have cut him on June 1st and cutting him now, they would have saved $10 million extra in dead cap money.
Yeah, you guys are fucking idiots.
Well, they were trying to be nice at this point. It's a PR thing. Is $10 million worth PR? Yeah. Make it go away from $10 million? Yeah.
I want to get in here to our next topic of the night. This one is a little bit weird. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put on my nephew's game really quick in the background because they're playing right now, and I want to see my boy play. Whoa, that was loud. I want to see my boy play. So the 49ers have been bit by the injury bug, something fierce this season, all right? They get Kittle back this week, per himself, but 49ers have now ruled out Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa for Sunday's game against the Packers, thus starting QB Brandon Allen in his place. Is it time to say that we're out on San Fran rest of the season? I mean, they are last in the NFC West, in a very close NFC West. Or should the 49ers faithful find a way to keep hope alive?
Man, this is it's so counterintuitive because this is one of those teams where they just always get it done. But as the season continues to go and you look, they won their last 3 games. They won 4 of the last 5. They have this game versus the Packers, the Bills, the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Cardinals. So they have 4, 6, 7 games. I mean, the Packers, they could win that game still without Purdy. Maybe. It's tough. I mean, I think they could beat the Bears, they could beat the Rams, they could beat Dolphins. That's 3 wins right there. They could beat the Cardinals. That's 4 wins. If they go 4-3 in this last stretch, and they beat the Cardinals and the Rams on the way to doing so, they can still win this division. So even if they take a loss this week, I don't think they're out of it. I think it'll be interesting to see how this team plays without having Purdy. It's going to be CMC in the running game predominantly. And let's face it, we know there's weeks that he can just win this shit by himself. Let's be honest. That running game between Debo and CMC is something that is to be reckoned with. I'm not out yet. Their pedigree just gives them the additional rope to still kind of keep themselves in it. And it'll be interesting. The next 2 games will be their toughest tests, but after that it becomes very winnable, including some division games. So they're not out of it yet.
For me, while I do agree with you that no, they're not completely out of it. You just kind of went over the schedule, so on and so forth. While they may not be completely out of it mathematically speaking, I am going to go on the record and state that I am out on them. And here's why. It is very well possible that too much tread on the tires was burnt last year going towards that Super Bowl run. When you talk about the playoffs, you're basically playing a whole nother season because you're having to play at another level. All the games that you try to kind of take pressure off your body and, like right now, San Fran's sitting at a 32.1% chance of making the playoffs. Okay. I get a little bit nervous when I hear that, and then when I look at the litany of injuries is starting to kind of line up like a fucking CVS receipt throughout the season. When you can't get the full starting lineup out there on the field healthy, it does become very difficult to maintain consistency. Consistency is what's going to help you be able to put together win streaks. You kind of need that, and right now they need that in order to be able to go on a run, huh?
I said shout out Big Guy.
Yeah, shout out Big Guy Fantasy Sports. Make sure you guys catch us Tuesday nights, Goal Line Goons. But seeing the analytics of what that window of opportunity is looking like and seeing that window of opportunity dwindle week after week after week after week, and then you're going up against the Packers with Brendan Allen. Yes, I do believe that Shanahan's system can make most quarterbacks look great. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're plugging in Brandon Allen. This is a guy that hasn't gotten the opportunity to really burn with these guys. I understand that Jair Alexander on the other side of the ball is going to be out. So, yeah, that should open up some passing opportunities when you don't have a shutdown corner on the field like that. But you're also going up against a quarterback on the opposing side for the Green Bay Packers that can really carve shit up if chooses to. That is going to be a cold weather game, if I'm understanding correctly, up there at Lambeau. That is a road game for San Fran in the cold. I expect this to be a very huge Josh Jacobs game. CMC hasn't been super effective since coming back. He's been all right, but no one in your fantasy league is like running around being like, CMC is like won me by week. Like CMC's not doing enough to like necessarily like win you your week, on his own back like we're used to. I just think that it's going to be a very, very tough road. It's going to be a very tough climb for San Fran. Should they lose this week, which I think that they will. My pick on the week, my pick in that game, that is an afternoon game, is going to be Green Bay. I am going to go on record, and I'm going to put Green Bay out there. I think it is going to be a very huge Josh Jacobs game. I just no Bosa on the defensive side, no Brock Purdy on the offensive side. Plug in Brandon Allen. He's mid as fuck. Actually, he's below mid. Like you remember the old school bag of Reggie?
You talking about the Arizona?
Yeah. He's a bag of Reggie. He's a bag of Reggie, bro. He's a bag of Mexican brickweed. You know the shit that still has. Remember back in the day when like you'd be like, yo, what the hell is this? Like it's all like a fucking brick. Yeah. Niners and Browns have had such a train wreck years. Both have top 7 rosters and are last in the division. I'm not going to include the Browns just because Watson's play was so fucking subpar to where it didn't matter who all you had on that roster. He was going to fuck that shit up no matter what. If that's his fault. That's not the Browns' fault. I'm not putting that solely on the Browns. Watson's just a fucking idiot who is a shell of himself, not getting enough massages in Cleveland.
Hey.
Ohio. So yeah, but the Niners have had it very, very, very fucking bad. For me personally, my cousin Chris, if you're watching, I'm sorry, it's time to stick a fork in your Niners. Yeah, a 9 QBR is unexcusable. He needs to sit his ass down somewhere. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the Niners situation. I think that it's best if you had them on a futures bet, you could probably get ready to kiss your money goodbye because I don't think that they're making it into the playoffs at this point. That's me keeping it real. Like if we look at it, because like here, I'm gonna just pull up the numbers real quick, just purely for the NFC. Arizona has a 52.9% chance of making the playoffs. San Fran has a 32.1. Seattle has a 26.8, and it looks like that number is steadily climbing. The Rams, the odd man out in that division, with a 10.2% chance. It's not looking good for the NFC West. I definitely do think that, especially coming off a bye, Arizona has that division sewn up. I don't know. I think that Seattle could potentially, especially after getting the win over San Fran last week. I think that 26 that 26.8 that they're rocking right now could even flip over to that 32.1% that San Fran is dealing with when we talk about the mathematics, when we talk about the numbers. Just to give context, the teams above Arizona and San Fran mathematically, kind of in that same place at the 52.9 for Arizona and the 32.1 for San Fran. Above them is Atlanta with a 74% chance. And every team that I'm about to mention has a 81.7% chance or higher. Green Bay, Washington, Minnesota, Philly, Detroit. Even if you find a way to get in San Fran, I don't think that you're fucking with the teams that are ahead of you right now. So that's my analysis. That's my take on San Fran. I mean, anything that you maybe want to that you want to throw out there?
No, I mean, I think it's really gonna come down to how healthy can Purdy get, and can they sneak out a win in one of these 2 tough games that they have coming up versus the Packers and the Bills. But really right now, it's, can Shanahan scheme up enough to mask the deficiencies? This is going to be a coaching, wizardry if they win.
I mean, Shanahan's a damn good coach. I'm not putting an indictment on Shanahan.
No. What I'm saying is, like, for them, like
players, it's not an indictment on the players or organization.
He could pull something out of his hat. That's what I'm saying too. Like, he's that good of a coach that with this hodgepodge lineup, he might be able to make.
No, and that I can agree. If there's any coach in the NFL that can work his way through adversity and overcome objections, it 100% is Kyle Shanahan. I do think that your money is best probably bet on the Packers this week. It sounds like you're taking San Fran.
No, I'm saying they need to come out and win this, and there's a possibility. I'm personally not betting that game. Like, that's a game I stay away from because I could see either side doing that. Yep.
Okay. Nick said, buy a city and stay inside, Deshaun. I'm dead. Probably not. Can that city not have any women or massage parlors in it for his sake? Legally. For their sake, actually. So yeah. That's kind of my take on the Niners. It sounds like we're both on the Packers. Go ahead, nephew. Good assist, boy. Good assist. Way to put up 3. Okay. Hey, getting the team working. I'll drop you guys a link in the chat if you guys want to see my nephew play. He's number 13 for CMU. You guys can watch him on RMAC Network. That's RMAC network.com. I'll drop it in the chat for you.
That's like a online network.
Online, well, app online.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah, same thing. He plays at CMU, which is Colorado Mesa University, which is kind of local here. They're going up against Bowie State. So so I went ahead and I dropped a link. If anybody wants to check out number 13 in the white jerseys and the CMU jerseys, that's a little nephew, So yeah, and also he's also one of the top football prospects in Colorado. He's going to be entering transfer soon. So yeah, working his way up through the JUCO system and type shit.
Way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Make a big one. You got to work your way up. And listen, like you said, those usually ones when they get in the league, they make the most opportunities because they earned it. It wasn't given to them.
Yeah, and then we got one that they'll be going to CSU Pueblo and shit. So I mean we got some ballers. We got some ballers in my Colorado family out here. We are gonna go ahead. We're gonna take halftime. This is a perfect time for, if you guys have not shared this stream on your social media, definitely go ahead, take the opportunity and put it out there. All right, put it out there, show some love. We greatly appreciate you. Whatever app it is that you're using for social media, share the content. Feel free to grab the link, text your friends, say, hey, this is where I'm chilling, pull up. Let's see here. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you have not already. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Let's see, Philly and Atlanta have better shot than SF, let alone those other clubs you named. Yeah, I agree. And I was just naming it off of mathematics. Not even any bias involved in that. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. We got a couple of music videos for you guys. This track right here, I'm trying to think of which one I want to play. I'm trying to think of which track I want to play.
I'll put the duo on.
You want the Booyah? All right.
One of them. They got a bunch of them.
Yeah, we gonna go Booyah real quick by my homies Equally Opposite. This is a black and white duo. A little biracial thing going on, equally opposite thing going on for my homies out of VA. 2 up, 2 down. Let's get it. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What to do? This is the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Aye.
Hey, bro. Yeah. When is this gonna kick in?
When's what gonna kick in?
Hop out in Miami when I'm landing, got no understanding. How the hell I'm burning, don't turn me up, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her when you're not. Gang with the gang with the gang with the gang. Gang when the cash in, we just scribbling racks out. I made a nigga for rapping, turn the special with cash cow. Hard to get you while you whacking, fuck the bitch, she tap out. Bad bitch, ass out, cash in, cash out. Gang when the cash in, we just scribbling racks out. I made a nigga for rapping, turn the special with cash cow. Hard to get you while you whacking, fuck the bitch, she tap out. Bad bitch, ass out, cash in, cash out. Gang when the cash in, road to success on a fast route. You don't really wanna whack shit, upload this bitch when I back out. I came to get rich, you can have clout. I lit the city in a blackout. I live the shit that I rap out. Get pistol whipped if you act out. That's how it go. I seen this shit happen. You don't want smoke, keep this shit rapping. Oh, they got jokes, let's use laughing. I came with a pole, that bitch can just dance and whoa. I woke them up cause they been asleep. I roll around like a Genovese. My whole squad like a Benedict's. Gang when the cash in, we just scribbling racks out. I made a nigga for rapping, turn this bitch to a cash cow. I take a chick while you lagging, fuck the bitch, she tap out. Bad bitch, ass out, cash in, cash out. Gang when the cash in, we just scribbling racks out. I made a nigga for rapping, turn this bitch to a cash cow. I take a chick while you lagging, fuck the bitch, she tap out. Bad bitch, ass out, cash in, cash out. Just sleeping on me, now they woke, thinking of creeping on me and get smoked. We couldn't eat it for leaves, we was broke. Shout out to BV and CC, my bros. Rowdy and Malvy, VB, feed the low. Giving y'all team, I'm seeing his ghost. Still in the street, cause to me it's my home. My city need me, they need me to go. They loving the flow, they say my shit wavy. I got that dope like back in the 80s. I got your hoe, she acting all crazy. Killing my show, it's back like the baby. So don't hate me, no. Cause I stayed down till I came up. I stayed the same while they changed up. Now I make it rain on these lame dogs. Gang when the cash in, we just scribbling racks out. I made a nigga for rapping, turn this bitch to a cash cow. I take a chick while you lacking, fuck the bitch, she tap out. Bad bitch, ass out, cash in, cash out. Gang when the cash in, we just scribbling racks out. I made a nigga for rapping, turn this bitch to a cash cow. I take a chick while you lacking, fuck the bitch, she tap out. Bad bitch, ass out, cash in, cash out.
The irony of the music that I played. So like we had the homies from VA, and then that last homie, you know, PB Mogul, he's doing it real big right now. Up in
Texas,
New York,
New York. Oh wow,
yeah, you tech.
I like his flow.
Yeah, homie's nice with it. He's actually performed on our Super Bowl special before.
Cool.
He's been opening up for some big artists lately. So like big ups to the homie, man. You know, he's done nothing but show us love. He's done nothing but show me love. He's like shared my links and shit and like put me on. So you know, fucking put my nephew back in, coach. Why you pull the fucking starter so early, bro? Y'all saw the GLD commercial, shopgld.com. Get your GLD just like me. You can represent your favorite team, whether it's, you know, my Commanders, you know, Tacos Giants, you know, Leafs Raiders, you know, Nick, he representing the Browns and shit. You know, you got Aiden in the chat. He be representing the Jaguars. Make sure you guys, you know, get over to Shop GLD. It makes the perfect Christmas present. Like literally, it does make the perfect Christmas present. I'm getting my shorty a Commander's chain because we went ahead and we converted to pussy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. Drop the mic, FR.
What it do? What it do? What it do? The Lakers piss me off in person. Damn it.
Oh, yeah, you went to the game, didn't you?
Yeah, freaking Franz Wagner freaking shooting a three-pointer because Anthony Davis can't miss goddamn free throws.
Well, I'll tell you this, Franz Wagner has been a fantasy god for me.
Dude, he was a beast last night. He could not miss last night.
Bro, that dude is way better than, sooner than I thought he'd be. I thought he'd be good, but he's just all around, solid. And I'm mad because I dropped him, but I'm seeing how good he's doing. His Dalton Connect is looking like he might be something.
You should have never.
Oh, yeah, Dalton's good.
Yeah, you should have never dropped Dalton Connect.
Well, I mean, early in the season, you got to make moves, my G.
Yeah. Dalton Connect is good white, though. I'm dead. I'm so dead.
He's like Jason Williams type. You know what I mean? White chocolate.
Out of the glass or out of the bottle?
Penalty shots out of the bottle. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do? Dilly dilly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Vic is texting me. He's like, I'm gonna throw 400 on it. Give me a pick for tomorrow. He almost did Virginia over SMU. I was like, nigga, no. If start dropping picks in the chat for college football tomorrow, so we can help Vic out. But let's be logical, please, especially if he's gonna fucking throw 400 on it. Let's go ahead. We're gonna get back into the show so we can keep this train rolling. Keep rolling. What? Mustard! I know, Mike, you haven't heard a new Kendrick album, but you have to. It's fucking crazy.
I will over the weekend.
Jan over Figgy at 3. He's looking for a college football pick. He's not looking for you. He already has that. He has that exact UFC pick already. Fuck, I'm frozen. Stall. Talk about our advertisers at GLD or some shit. I don't know. Talk about college football really quick, please.
I got it. So, Taco, who are you picking for college football tomorrow?
Oh, that's a great question. I have a lot of candidates that I'm really debating, but
shush. We know you don't even know the starting quarterback of freaking.
Well, I think what's the matter you is going to have a great game.
Do you know the quarterback? Do you know the starting quarterback of freaking Georgia?
That's not his job.
That's right.
You said that you have it, and you're asking him, you're quizzing him on fucking college football, and he knowing the damn well.
I know who it is, though.
It didn't.
And I know who he's dating, too.
Like I said, I know the starters at What's the Matter You.
He's dating a baddie.
That was a perfect opportunity for you to drop the $400 pick. Hang on. Well, I'm gonna read off the next topic, and I'm gonna go through and do some research. I want him to put 400 on Indiana over Ohio State. But if I tell him to do it, whatever I tell him, he's gonna do the opposite of. So I need to find something that he's gonna do the opposite of. Let me read this next topic though. This one is super intriguing. Speaking of college football, Michael Irvin. I'm sorry. That been drinking. I've been drinking.
Oh, that's not the way I thought you'd go here.
Michael Irvin earlier this week went on Colin Cowherd somewhere around the middle of the week. He was on air. I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think it's
Tuesday.
I can't remember. I think it's Tuesday.
And when asked about potential for Deion and Shedeur Sanders going to the Cowboys, he stated 100% and from valid sources, it'll happen. We know what the valid sources are because we saw his cocaine ass chilling with old ass Jerry Jones during the Paul Tyson fight, which was very difficult to stream, and where we apologize for that broadcast. Netflix, I hope you accept that class action lawsuit. The following day, Prime flipped 2 major recruits. One of those recruits, Juju Lewis, 5-star QB, from USC. Should Prime stay like he stated he will? Doesn't want to deal with, coaching bratty multimillionaire players, or should he follow his son?
Who's going first?
You.
Okay. Here we go. Because I am hyped for this one. This is the one I was hoping you would say for me. Because here we go. First off, I'm going to talk about Deion being the coach of the Cowboys, and then I'll get into Julian Lewis in a second because I have a problem with him in the first place. Absolutely not. He is not going to be the coach of the freaking Dallas Cowboys, and here's part of the reason why. When do college coaches when do pro coaches get hired? Right after the season. Before the Super Bowl, every team, unless you're in the play, unless you are an assistant coach from a Super Bowl team, you're not getting hired. You're getting hired right after the Super Bowl. So all the coaches will be hired right around by Super Bowl time. The draft isn't until April. We don't know if Shador's going to be a Cowboy. To me, that is absolutely ridiculous to think that it is Deion's going to go take the job, not knowing for 100% that Shador, if he's going to be the head coach of Dallas or coaching staff of Dallas, whatever, I think it would be the following year if Shador became the quarterback of Dallas or wherever he ends up. I don't think he should do it in general, but that's why I think that I would put money on it that he's not going to be the head coach of Dallas purely for that fact, because I don't think he'll go to Dallas without either. I mean, it's not going to be both, but I could see him going somewhere if Hunter's there and not Shador, depending on the situation. But he's going to have to wait and see for where either one go. Julian Lewis, I'm not sold that he's going to be a Colorado Buffalo because he wasn't even supposed to be committed to USC. He already flipped from Georgia to USC less than a year ago. And now he's flipping to Colorado to Deion. If Deion's there, I do think he's going to stay, but I'm not saying it's a slam dunk. Because I think with NIL, and I understand teams like Bryce Underwood and other players that are getting this money, they commit to a school knowing that another kid is going to flip, knowing that, if I commit to this school, another school is going to go, hey, I'll give you X amount more or whatever. I think there needs to be a limit on, I think that we all know there's certain things that NIL need to be fixed. I think one is either you got to keep your mouth shut, or if you're going to verbally commit out loud to the public, like a public commitment, you're only allowed a certain amount. You can't flip every 5 days like freaking Dylan Raiola, who decided to go to 4 different high schools in 4 different years because he was switching school to school to school in the state that he was going to, and then goes to Nebraska. So that's my issue with Julian Lewis going from SC to Colorado. Being a UCLA fan, I love the fact that he left USC, but I just think for college football, like this says from Leafs, the dark side of capitalism, I don't think it's good for the game.
While it may not be good for college football, I personally believe that Juju is gonna stay with the Buffs. I do think that Deion is going to stay.
I think he will.
I think that Deion is at a point where he can let someone else coach his boys. Is it going to be a little bit of an adjustment for both of those sides? Absolutely. For any father, it's difficult, especially if you've been coaching. It's difficult to kind of let go and let the reins be. With that being said, and with that being stated, I don't necessarily look. These are kids that we're going to talk about. Yes, should there be some maybe guardrails on how many times you can flip a commit? Sure. But these are kids that we're talking about until they're fully in the building. Let them flip as however many times. I feel like maybe you should know more than 3.
No, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you can only flip once, but like Raiola, who flipped literally 4 times, and Lewis is already on his 3rd school.
Yeah, I mean, but there is something to state. I do want to point out that Colorado, like we already mentioned when I read the topic, they flipped 2 commits that day, then turned around and today had 5 other top commits all visit, or five other top today? five other top 5-star players visit today. Not commits. And it's looking like from what I'm hearing on the inside of things, over half of those 5, so probably about 3, are going to commit to Colorado. It's interesting, and it's a very interesting time that we're in because it's looking like that prime model is actually working, which is probably why we're seeing FAU chase after a Ray Lewis right now so they could try and replicate that same model. We've seen players try and become coaches before. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, especially star players. You know, it's a little bit harder to coach. But I mean, if you're bringing in the right person, the right leader of men, I think that is doable.
I love Ray Lewis as a player, but personally, I think Ray Lewis as a head coach is going to be more like Ed Reed than Dion.
I mean, which is yet to be determined. I feel that way too, which is probably why a program like FAU is probably the best starting spot. But I think that we're reaching a point right now with NIL in the college game to where you need to have a star power in the leadership role that can bring in players and attract players from, of course, the marketing and the sales standpoint, yada, 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 because you got to make back all the money that you're giving to those players. Boosters aren't just going to, be paying out money for fucking dirt cheap. Sponsors aren't going to be paying money for fucking, like things that aren't going to give ROI. So I think that you are going to see this continue to happen. I do think that Prime stays at Colorado, though. Jerry, you have a million other fucking things to worry about than bring in Dion. Let's remove Shedeur from the equation. Let's just focus on the coaching aspect. There are so many other things that you need to bring in terms of building a roster and having personnel that aren't in the right fucking place right now, to where it doesn't matter if you fire McCarthy or bring in Dion or, keep McCarthy. It doesn't. You have so many holes personnel wise to where it doesn't matter what what coach you bring in. You're fucked six different ways till Sunday. Until you can repair that offensive line, no coach is going to have success. You're going to keep hiring and firing coaches after coaches after coach until you repair that offensive line. Until you remove some of the older guard that is left there, Martin, and you start bringing in, Biotis is having the fucking time of his life right now in Washington. You couldn't get Micah and his family. You couldn't get Micah's family seats to the away game. Dan Quinn had to fucking do that. You're now failing on promises and things that you should be doing as an owner because you're too focused on personnel and trying to be the fucking GM, to where all those years of karma of you doing it is coming back and biting you in the ass. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I don't think that it's wise for Prime yet to step into the NFL. And I don't think that it's wise for Prime to go to Dallas, where Prime isn't going to be able to be Prime, because Jerry's going to be being Jerry, which is going to overshadow how good of a coach and how good of a leader of men, more importantly, that Prime is. Prime had 12 players on his roster that were all becoming soon to be fathers. Put $2,000 or put $2,100, $2,100 in everyone's account to start them off, to be able to start. Of course, maybe cost more, but etc. But just to start them off on top of the NIL money that they're already getting. Partner with a local Colorado credit union out here to make that happen and get that done. This is a leader of men that we're talking about. These boys need you at the college level. Them boys in the NFL don't need you, Prime. And they're making so much goddamn money right now that I don't think that they're going to acknowledge you in the same way that they should, in the same fashion that they should, and listen to you in the way that they should. The Cowboys are so fucking bad. Do you need to fix the coach? Yes. Should you maybe try and be taking the approach to fix the coach right now? Not when you have holes on the personnel side. Fix personnel, then let's fix coach. Let's at least get Mike McCarthy hasn't had shit to work with. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. You have produced a carbon copy, exact same fucking form of the exact same team year in and year out. And you thought that it was going to work eventually. I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy shouldn't be fired, but you've also just given Mike McCarthy the same shit over and over again. You never improved it. That Cowboys roster has never improved. It stayed the same. And if not, many can argue that it's gotten worse. Taco. Jake Paul does still have more wins in AT&T Stadium than the Dallas Cowboys.
I think that you guys said a lot of the things, regarding this.
What do you mean a VDP?
But the one thing that, you also got to look at, if you go there right when your son goes there, and let's just say you don't experience instant success, that kind of criticism and shitstorm and everything that comes along with it will take away from his son's adaptation into the league. Whereas if he comes as his second coach after, let's just say he stays in Colorado a little bit longer, right? Lets his son go spread his wings. Maybe it doesn't work out as good. Then maybe he might take that shot to the NFL to get his son right or fix the situation. Maybe. But if you look at it from a ROI, is the juice worth the squeeze? For him to chase after his son to get the job and coach with them together, it doesn't seem like a very Prime move. You know what I mean? Prime brought his son to his program and built up the program. But now it's different. Now it would be him chasing after. And I just don't think right now, with what he's building and the legacy he's creating, knowing who Prime is, I don't think that's where he'd want to go. I think he does better suit himself staying here now, letting the chips see where they go, and then maybe
they don't.
Next time you kind of come up and say, maybe I'll come here. Or you stay where you're at. But you kind of sit back and evaluate the situation and see where it goes. I just don't see him rushing to go there and have, like everyone's saying, the divas giving him shit when he's the ultimate diva. Ain't nobody telling me shit right now. I'm a Super Bowl winner, I'm this and that. And some of those boys, they ain't going to hear it, especially once they have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 million made in their career, and they're at a certain point and they just don't want to do certain things. I mean, especially we're seeing it with wide receivers all over. They have these attitudes and they become cancers. And now you have Dion going against some of these guys. And I mean, look how it worked with Pierce. So this year with Oakland kind of just makes me also see the other side of sometimes when you have the player in the locker room, they could be overly emotional. And that might sometimes steer things, I think, not in the right direction. Because this year, the Raiders definitely fell off harder than we could have even imagined. And I don't know. That's just kind of my initial thought.
No, I can actually agree with that. No, they do not have a vice president of football operations. Jerry's kind of running all of that, which kind of makes me believe that in a way, like Jerry's using some of the staffing cuts that he has to maybe save money and also keep himself in power. Even if he did have a vice president of football operations, he's not going to listen to him anyways. It's what's the point of being hired into a position if your opinion's not going to be valued, So even if Jerry did have a VP, it's not going to turn out well for that person. They're not going to get listened to. Crazy Jerry has no structure, absolutely no structure. Dude, the dude that builds a shitty roster. Jerry just builds a shitty roster over. Here's the thing, he doesn't even build a roster. He literally just fucking puts out the same shit. It's the same thing over and over again. Like, how many free agents went to Dallas during the offseason? Free agents did not rush to go to Dallas. Look, let's take a player like T. Higgins, for example, that's going to be approaching free agency. T. Higgins is not going to fucking Dallas. Like, he's not. He gets control. He gets to have say-so. Free agency, so on and so forth. He's not going to fucking Dallas. The only players that are going to Dallas are players that are only playing for a paycheck. Players that want Super Bowls, players that want playoff appearances, players that want an opportunity to go and chase. I think they know at this point that it's not going to fucking happen with Dallas. Micah Parsons is just being delusional on his own fucking podcast. And I think he's just saying some of the shit that he's saying to appease Jerry. I don't think that anyone is realistically that delusional. So, look, me personally, I'm out on this whole Shedeur to Dallas thing. I'm out on this whole Dion to Dallas thing. I think it's a fucking marketing grab. Even if it does happen, it's bad for both parties, like Taco said, because should they not meet expectations within the first year of arriving, they are going to get buried. And should they not meet expectations, well, at that point, you might as well just fucking have kept Mike McCarthy and then at least try to fucking build personnel. Belichick doesn't want that job. Vrabel doesn't want that job. Slowick's not going to go there. Ben Johnson's not going to go there. Do I need to keep going?
Well, it's going to be someone that's going to be okay. The problem with the guys that you listed, maybe not, I'm not sure about Slowick, but yeah. I do think, well, no, with what I'm about to say, I do agree with you about Ben, especially Vrabel, especially Belichick, whoever. It's not going to be a coach. It has to be a coach that's going to be okay with having 3 of his 4 marionette puppet strings attached to Jerry Jones's freaking Johnson. Because we know he's going to pull the strings. It ain't going to be the coach. So it's not going to be a headstrong coach like Belichick who's going to want some control. It's not going to be a coach that's going to be allowed to make any of the GM decisions. You know, so a coach, Vrabel's too strong. Belichick's too strong. I think Johnson's would want too much control in that situation because he's turned into like a coach that doesn't need to be a head coach because Lions will give him what he wants to keep him. Otherwise, I still think he'd be the head coach of your team. So it's going to be a coach, maybe Slowick's in that, but it's going to be a coach that is a decent coordinator or, you know, a good coordinator, not decent, but a good coordinator or whatever, but that also still needs to prove something as a head coach that will not, it's not going to be an established guy is what I'm, it's probably,
it's going to be someone that'll be a puppet master or there'll be a puppeteer so that Jerry can be the puppet master. Yeah.
Agreed.
And I just feel bad for whoever the incumbent is going to be. You know, hell, I mean, even if it were Dion, at that point, then Jerry needs to be saying, I'm going to shut the fuck up and I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to let you cook. I guess the best way to close out this conversation to kind of segue into the next topic is we're at a point right now in the NFL where I think the player that is only looking for a check is kind of diminishing. And you're starting to see the players that you're starting to see more and more players that want to win and win early in their careers and get paid. So they're going to chase culture plus pay. And I think that that's what we're starting to see. And I think that that's what we're starting to realize is where's the culture going to be? Where's the bank account going to be good? Because obviously these guys have families, they got mouths to feed. So obviously they're going to be looking at that. But not only am I going to get a bag, where's the culture going to be healthy for me to be able to do this job for a long time? Because it's a job that requires a fucking lot, you know, of a physical demand. To everyone at home, you're like, oh, well, it's just a kid's game, you know. Yes, but it's also people's livelihoods at the same fucking time. Hate it or love it, you know. So I think that's probably the best way to close it out. Dallas, fix culture, and if you fix culture, you can maybe start to string together some type of wins. Keeping it on the head coaching topic, keeping it on just the coaching topic, so to speak, in general. Of course, head coaching candidates like Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel are names that teams should watch out for. Taco brought this up on Goal Line Goons, thus triggering a statement that was put out today by this individual. Sexy Rexy says he wants to take the Jets for a spin again. Should he be given a shot, or has the game evolved too much for a return? Taco.
I stated some of this before when we were on Goal Line Goons. I think he is the perfect candidate to bring the Jets back. And when you look at it from the standpoint of he is a leader of men, and that doesn't change. Okay. Now, he was the last winning era of Jets football. Okay.
That's what
and when he set the way that team played, everyone in the city loved to watch them play, because no matter what, they played hard. They played defense. They were able to fucking run the ball. And no offense, fucking New York likes that gritty shit. You know what I mean? So a defensive team, we like that shit. And the fact that he's going to come in and fix that defense is great. Now you give him an actual quarterback who, you know, got Francesa trying to allude that he might be hurt, which, you know, might be possible. And, you know, there is Russ, but at the end of the day, I think that he is right in the standpoint of there is more to this team than they've shown. This was a very talented roster that underachieved by all and every measure and metric. Okay, now you still have two elite wide receivers and an elite running back on this team. This is not time to throw it down, especially when you look at the cap hit that you're going to get out of Rodgers. It's time to take it for one more ride. And if you're going to do that, you need to get a leader to get everyone on the same page. And then you can bring in the offensive and defensive coordinators who are respective geniuses who the next year could be head coaching candidates because they outperform themselves. But now you need a CEO, and then you can go fill your marketing and your sales teams. And that's what Rex is going to give them. A certified hand that's done it before in this market, that knows the media, that knows how to make you fucking amped, that you see people on the fan base already listening to his speech and ready to run through a wall for this man. And that is the difference. And that will translate. And that will buy Woody Johnson some time. That is something that Gruden will not get because of all the things that he's had negatively and his demeanor. Rex Ryan is a unique coach who has this charisma that not many people have. And I believe that if you give Rex Ryan a chance, he will do great for the Jets.
Okay. Second time's a charm. Everyone deserves a second chance, says Lise. What about you, Mike?
All right. A lot of times me and Taco disagree. But are we going to disagree tonight? Halfway. Because I forgot that Taco brought this up. And I've heard about, Rex, he wanted to, I've heard him make jokes on Get Up and everything about being a head coach.
Yeah.
And I do think that Rex was done wrong. I do think he was scapegoated. Could be, and absolutely. And Taco, you're one freaking 1,000% saying true when you said that Rex is a leader of men. I 100% agree with you. Where I disagree with you, and I'll circle back to part of it, where I do disagree with you is where he will be the head coach. Because a team that needs a leader of men just as much as they do, I think he should be the next head coach after Doug Peterson gets fired from Jacksonville.
That'd be lit. We're going to talk about that later, but okay.
But I just think that's where he should be. I think that's where he should go. Going back to the Jets, I think one of the reasons that he will not become the head coach of the Jets is the ego that's not being talked about of Woody Johnson.
Oh no, I feel like the ego definitely needs to be talked about. I mean, Woody.
But I'm saying it's not. It needs. I'm saying we do, but I'm saying it's not being talked about on like out in like the general media.
I don't know. Did you see when the GM got fired? They broke down everything that Woody Johnson behind. I mean, that was blowing up all over our market. I mean, everyone knows Woody Johnson is the problem. He's much like Dolan in the fact that everyone knew
I think it's more of a New York thing. I think you guys hear more about it than like we do in this.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard about the stuff like him trying to bend, but like the deep stuff that you guys hear about, we don't hear like
Like one of the beat reporters broke it down. Like they had a deal for Jerry Jeudy that he pulled in and made them keep Lazard. There was
I talked about that.
They fired Salah without the GM even knowing. Like it was crazy what Woody was doing out there.
Yeah, Woody pulled the whole. I'm the owner. I can do whatever.
Like I'm him.
There was no checks or balances in it whatsoever. Just pure executive power.
And I don't know if Rodgers gave him a little rub and tug or something because he was just bending every kind of way that he needed because he was like kind of crazy, man. Like, bro, like this is why you have your football people here. There's a chain of command, and at some point in time, these GMs have to understand how shit is run. And if you got a guy for football operations, let him do his fucking job and stop interfering with it, and then criticizing him that the job isn't done right because there's moves that he was gonna make that now you're restricting him from making, and now he has to make other moves to compensate for the moves that he didn't want to make. So it's asinine. And it will never work so long as you have owners like that don't let someone execute their vision.
Okay. For me, I do feel that the game has evolved. I think that you would have to give him, that first season as just like, hey, kind of whatever happens type of deal. Let him get his bearings back underneath him. It'll probably take 3-4 games. That's what the preseason is for. That's what the scrimmages are for. So on and so forth. So I feel like maybe if you give him that, we'd probably be looking at maybe a different conversation. But I mean, we're talking about an organization to where this owner is having just as much control as Jerry Jones and is just as delusional. As much of a dictator as Jerry, not in the media as much, kind of with the whole wearing the chain and shit and everything like that. But I mean, it's not like at that level of bad, but it is approaching that and it is getting to that standpoint. Like Taco said, you need to have checks and balances. If you got a GM, football operations, you got these guys put in positions, shut the fuck up and let them cook. I think that this team derailed itself, in all honesty, because prior to Aaron, they were in a developmental period where it looked like, I get that Zach Wilson wasn't great, so on and so forth, but it looked like they were in a developmental period to where, they could have possibly maybe gotten someone a little bit better than Zach and someone not as old and elderly at this fucking point as Aaron Rodgers. If you were to ask me, Aaron Rodgers is washed. Aaron Rodgers is completely fucking washed. No, I don't want him to go on the Brett Favre arc and join Minnesota like people are fucking rumoring, or I don't want him to go to I'm done seeing Aaron Rodgers. I have seen enough. I have seen enough of 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I am tired of Woody Johnson interfering. This is a team that for the last 2 years that we've had a lot of high hopes for. It looked like they were kind of going in the right direction and trending in the right direction. And I feel like that they invested so much in Rodgers and gave Rodgers so much control that they derailed themselves. They fucked themselves over. I'm not going to be convinced that you can't convince me that Aaron Rodgers didn't know about Salah or didn't know about these secret meetings or maybe wasn't in on it. Like I refuse to fucking believe that, because every move that has been made has been a Rodgers-esque type of demand and a Rodgers-esque type of move. So with that being said and stated, Jets, you fucked yourselves over. If you're gonna bring Rex Ryan back in, you need to be giving him a chance. You need to be giving him a chance that in a contract that's maybe 3, 4, 5 years. So that way we can have a look at what the team can look like post Rodgers, post you fucking everything up. You can't have players come in and try and run shit. You have guys hired to run shit for a reason. And as an owner, it's just best that you own and you sit back and you shut up and you color. So that's my take. If they go with Rex Ryan, I'm not going to sit here, whine, bitch, moan, and complain about it. The guy's been out of the league long enough to where he probably should have been brought back in a little bit sooner. It seems like there may have been some blackballing that took place, during his tenure out of the league. If he's able to get back in, I think that it reinvigorates the Jets. It reinvigorates the fan base. What it does inside the building, no one's there from that time period anymore. So I don't think that it does much for inside of the building. I think that Rex is going to have to come in and be like, you're going to shut up and you're going to listen to me.
There's one thing, though. Bart Scott is on the radio waves, and he is on their local TV as well. So
not the same. Doesn't count. And Bart Scott's a fucking idiot.
Listen,
Bart Scott could it have you go
can you stop a nose? They can't stop a nosebleed.
Hey, for real. Go read his scouting notes. He's so off on every fucking prospect. He's so off.
Much like Kendrick Perkins and these other guys, he's beloved within the community and with Jet fans because
I don't care about that. I look at things at a high level of football. That's cool that the fan base loves him. High level football.
Who's selling? Who's buying the seats? Who's watching this show? This is not me
disrespecting the New Jersey, New York Jets fan base.
Barton and Han, this is a good show, man.
Stop. Hold on. Let me talk. All right. High level football. When you look at the NFL as a whole, okay, the dude's a fucking idiot. It's great. Some of the things when you're just covering a team, like if I were just covering Washington, I'd be able to say and do a lot. I get a little bit more flexibility because my takes at that point are meant to be biased and they're meant to be, kind of appealing towards that base. When we're talking high level NFL, Bart would not be able to get on this stream and hold my fucking jock strap. Straight up. Like if me and Bart get into a film room, shut the fuck up, hold my shot of rum, I'll teach the class. That's straight up. That's straight up. That's straight up. And you guys can clip it and I'll even fucking tag him in it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
That's
I
straight up.
listen to the man on the radio. He's not that bad. I've heard his evaluation.
He's horrible on Get Up.
Yeah, he was. Oh God, he was atrocious on Get Up. Oh, he was the worst person on Get Up.
No, Bart. I mean, he was on this morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he is the worst one. Like he is fucking trash. Trash. There are plenty of better personality types. There are YouTube channels that are smaller than our channel that are smarter than fucking Bart Scott. Want to get into the final topic here. We've been talking about the draft throughout the night. Talk about who should do what, and kind of move around. We're gonna purely just focus on number one pick right now. If the season ended today, the Jacksonville Jaguars would have the number one pick. How should they approach the first overall? And also, why is it taking so long for them to clean house after such a disappointing season? I mean, Balky, Peterson, so on and so forth. Mike, take us away.
Personally, I think they're just holding on to the end of the year. They're going to give Doug his respect, fire him at the end of the year, and go from there. Clean house, start from scratch then instead of messing with the whole mojo in the middle of the season.
It's Doug not like college.
Huh?
Do you think Doug goes to college?
No, I think Doug takes a year or two off and then comes back as an OC.
Okay.
I think Doug is a perfect OC in the league. I mean, we can't forget, yes, he has screwed things up. He did some good stuff after head coach, not to be named because he likes to kick kickers.
Urban.
But I mean, he's done some good stuff after that. But yeah, he fell off. I did at first think if he was going to get fired to me, it would have been after coming back from London after those 2 weeks. But we also can't forget that this guy did win a Super Bowl as a head coach with Nick Foles against the Patriots. So all I'm saying is I don't think he's going to take that step down to college. Not saying it's a complete step down, but I'm saying he does belong in the NFL. I just don't think he belongs in the NFL as a head coach right now. I think he'll take a year off sabbatical and then come back and somebody will hire him as an OC. And I have no problem with that. I think he's a good OC. I mean, look at the tree he came from. They don't always make great head coaches underneath Andy Reid, but there's good OCs. When it comes to what they should do with the number 1 pick, Taco's favorite quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, is still there. But no, they should not draft a QB.
No, fuck no. That'd be stupid.
I don't think they should take, if they're the number 1 pick, I don't think they should take the number 1 pick. This is a team that is getting a little bit older in the tooth. Like you said, I think they're going to have a fresh new start. Let a new GM, let a new whoever it is, president, however they do it, because the Khan family also likes to hoard stuff. We all know that. They should do what the Bears did when they traded the pick. Look at the Bears ended up getting the number 1 pick again. Not saying what they did with Caleb. I'm saying when they traded the pick, look what they got from Carolina, and then they were able to pull some other stuff off. Wait until closer to the draft when things heat up for, one of the top guys or quarterbacks or whoever it may be, because teams are going to want to move up to get that player they want. Make a pick. I think they should trade the pick. They don't need – I still think Lawrence could be a serviceable quarterback if they have the right pieces around them. They need help on the line. Their line is not good. They need more help on the defense. They need, I think they need another weapon on offense because, I love Brian Thomas Jr., don't get me wrong, but I'm not the biggest I think Christian Kirk is starting to decline with the injuries and everything.
Yeah. I agree.
And we all know how I feel about Gabe freaking dumpster fire Davis.
Yeah.
So I think they should go and get more picks from it. If they do decide to pick, I think it's not going to be a skill position. I think you'll go bet like the OT or I know there's some big defensive side guys, but I think they should move down a little bit. And if they're going to move down and grab, a top DB or something like 4 or 5, great. But I don't think they're going to pick at number 1.
Okay. I definitely do respect the strategy because that is something that I've kind of theorized for Jacksonville early in the show. I was like, okay, maybe you can go after like a Ted McMillan or something, but they do have some issues on the offensive line, so there's no reason why they don't grab like a Will Campbell or something if they choose to move back. I think that would probably be I don't think it'll be Johnson. I think it'll be the other Will. I think it'll be Will Campbell if they choose to move back.
What you said about Tet. If they were to move down to 4 or 5 and draft Tet there, I'd be perfectly okay with that. I just don't think they need to take that pick at the number. Like, not saying you're saying Tet at 1. I'm saying I don't think you need to pick 1.
So I do feel maybe differently. Let's say hypothetically they do keep one. I would love to see them maybe trade back because they could get some assets for that number 1 pick that gives them more draft picks to kind of begin to balance out the roster. Should they not, I have no problems with them going with Travis Hunter. I have no problems with them playing him as a receiver and then having defensive packages for him.
I think it's the other way.
And that's what I was about to say, I also have no problems if they choose to flip-flop it and if they choose to favor Hunter on the defensive side of the ball and then maybe have a couple of offensive packages in there for him as well. At the end of the day, Brian Thomas needs help, but they also need a fucking corner.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Like the last thing I'll say on this topic is, and it's more about a player that you brought up, and I have no problem with you bringing him up because he's going to be in the question. He's going to be in the hunt in that top 5. I cannot, and you might disagree with me on this one. I cannot stand the people that go to the fire pit saying, with stakes ablazing, saying that Travis Hunter is the WR1 of this class. He is not. He's not the WR1. Overall player, absolutely.
Yeah, he's the number one overall player. I'm not going to say that he's
the number one athlete, but not wide receiver. You got to take him to. If he was to sit there and if they were to sit there and say he's playing wide receiver and he's not playing DB at all, I'd probably have him at number 2, but I'd still think he's a great talent. But I think he should be DB with packages at WR.
Yeah, and I agree. No matter where Travis ends up, I think that needs to be the approach for any team. Tez better. Trey Harris underrated.
Trey Harris is underrated. I agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Taco.
Jaguars, your favorite team. Go.
Listen, for the Jaguars, this is a shit storm on a shit sandwich, and I don't really see them being able to. How much dead money would they have if they try to even move Trevor Lawrence?
That's what they're not going to.
They're not.
Yeah. So I mean, what's funny is that in the New York market, you have Tiki Barber going on a whole rant on how the Giants should be trading for Trevor Lawrence because they might be looking to move off him and draft a quarterback. And I just sit back and I shake my head and I say, this is what they're saying. It's absolutely ridiculous.
If that happened, I am flying to Long Island and giving you a hug and saying, F you, Taco.
I am just like, we were saying it earlier. He has Daniel Jones tendencies. Like, this man is not the kind of guy that you really want out there pushing for that Super Bowl.
So you don't want him playing scout safety?
And you know what? I wouldn't mind him if he wasn't at that contract, which he felt like he had to have. That's an albatross. Like, I can't justify paying him that much. Like, I would much rather go get Russell Wilson or Justin Fields or Jamie. Give me one of those 3 before you even give me Trevor. And then get me a rookie that we can start to develop that actually has some skills because they're saying this.
So you wouldn't do both. That would be bass backwards. So you wouldn't be dope. You wouldn't be doing both. You wouldn't be bringing in a veteran and then also bringing a rookie to sit behind him. It's either you're going to because when you're only given a select amount of draft spots, you're only given a select amount of money during free agency. So you're not going to do both. So you would have to pick one.
I mean, I could definitely see a world where you can take a Jamies and you can draft a quarterback, and that works
perfectly be stupid. Fine. That'd be a waste of a fucking pick. If you're gonna bring in a bridge, if you're gonna bring in a bridge, if you're bringing in a bridge, it's to set you up for the next quarterback draft class.
But the other problem is Jameis is going to get a lot more money than you're thinking.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he might, but I don't see them not getting because you got to understand in this market, if they don't put something out there next year, they will be cannibalized. They're going to lose their jobs. So they will get a rookie and they will get a veteran for this team next year because their jobs are going to depend on it. They need to put out something.
Provide me an example of when that had
whose jobs are going to be under the. They're going to be gone anyway.
But I mean, if they suck it up, I see them just getting some. Maybe it's not a Jamies, but they'll get some sort of veteran to start the season to compete with the rookie, and by the end, you expect the rookie to take the job.
Your opportunity to do that was this year, and you fucked that up.
What rookie though? JJ McCarthy, really?
You guys had an opportunity. You do realize that you guys had an opportunity to move up and get Jaden, right? You do realize that was a real fucking phone conversation that happened. You do realize that you guys had an opportunity at Drake May, right? You do realize you had an opportunity at Bo Nix, right? You had an opportunity at Penix. You had an opportunity at so many fucking rookie quarterbacks. If you were going to have a veteran and then bring in, this was your year to do it. It was this year. Now you can't, because now that you guys have released Daniel Jones, you can't do that. It's one or the other. It's either we're going to bring in a veteran to be a bridge, and then we say fuck it, and then hopefully next year we can get Arch. Or you're going to try and draft a rookie this year. Carson, Shadur, Ewers, etc. And probably that may not work out so fucking good for you because you're pretty much going to be repeating the same result because you have so many other holes that you need to fix.
Well, that's like many of these other teams. So it'll be interesting to see how Jaguars move forward with that albatross contract that Trevor has. And whatever coach comes in needs to really be offensive focused, I feel like, because again, this offense just never gets going. Like you have all these pieces.
I'm gonna be honest, kind of like I said earlier. Okay, for what I think, and I think I even mentioned this on Tuesday Night Show. I think that Jacksonville is looking at the shit show that's happening right up 95 with the two New York teams, and they're like, yeah, we'll wait to fire everyone. Because right now it's not looking good for the other two teams. I think Jacksonville is very aware that they have other issues that aren't quarterback. Bringing in a quarterback does not fix a team. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck how good you can. You're not putting Tom Brady in his prime back there for, the Giants or Jacksonville or, whatever the case, being that we're kind of like convoluting those two teams at once. You're not putting prime fucking Tom Brady, prime fucking Joe Montana back there for those teams with the bullshit offensive line they have and the bullshit fucking weapons that they have and expecting them to be succceckful. You're not doing it. It's literally mission suicide.
Look what Peyton Manning and look what Troy Aikman did their rookie years. Troy Aikman went 1-15 as the number one pick, and then once they lost again, and then they got Russell Maryland, and they got Nate Newton, and they brought in all those other guys, and then they brought in Urban after the second year. That's when they started firing on all cylinders. Same thing with Peyton. Peyton went one win, had the most sacks of any quarterback, I think, at the time. Whatever the case may be, and then they got Jeff Saturday and all this other stuff, and they brought guys in. Can a quarterback change a lot? Yes. Can it fix every problem? Can it hide problems? Yes. Can it fix those problems? No.
Fuck no. What you're needing, Taco, and what Jacksonville is needing, you need to fix the holes first. Put a fucking offensive line together.
Well, and I also think it's a mentality thing, and that's partly why I brought up Rex, is it's the holes, and then it's the mentality of getting back to the trenches, like you were saying.
Exactly. You want to win football games. You want to win football games. You want to win football games. You build a line first. You put hogs up front. What I think, keeping it on topic, I think Jacksonville was good, nerd. Yep. Fire Bulky, hire Joe Brady. What I think that, Jacksonville needs to do, it's one of two things. If you're going to hang on to the first pick, it's Hunter hands fucking down. No questions asked. If you are not going to do that, you need to be moving back and you need to be getting an offensive lineman. And if you're going to move back, and if you're going to get an offensive lineman in the draft, you need to do what Washington did, and you need to be building around that rookie offensive lineman who's already going to be pretty fucking good coming into the league. Look at, Cosme, Sewell, Slater. Those linemen have came in and made differences for their team. What's also unique about them, they're surrounded by veterans that are fucking damn good. You need to go out there. Zach Martin's going to be on his last leg in Dallas. You can grab, if you're a Jacksonville, you can grab a Zach Martin and give him a couple of years, or give him 2-3 years to kind of help build things up. But if I'm Jacksonville, it's either I'm going 101 and I'm taking Hunter because I can now get help on both sides of the ball, whatever I choose to do, Whether I draft him as a corner, whether I draft him as a receiver, we'll figure it out after that.
If you do trade down, you can go for Will Johnson out of Michigan.
And yes, and that's what I was going to say. That's what Aiden just put in the chat right when you said that. Then that's kind of what I was stating. What I was stating earlier. When looking at when looking at prospects, or not Johnson, Campbell. I think they should go Will Campbell, not Johnson, because other side of that would be a corner. While yes, they do need a corner. Please fucking find a way to open up some damn running lanes. Please find a way to get some pass protection. Please find a way to keep Trevor upright, because you know what? None of it's gonna fucking matter if you don't got a line.
True. No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. I don't think you draft wide receiver right out the gate. The only way that you're doing that is if it's going to be, Hunter or Tet at 101 overall, which I feel like would be a mistake. You can grab a wide receiver 2 of value later on. Address the fucking line. Address the line. I don't think the ETN is fucking completely broke. Think that they had no fucking protection and they couldn't open up holes, and that's the biggest problem. That's just the way that I would address Jacksonville's situation. I do think that Jacksonville is in a much better place than when we talk about a Dallas or a either of the New York teams. I do think that they can kind of plug and play and repair and add, patches. May not look pretty, but, I think that they're closer, I feel, to a rebuild than the other teams, where the other teams that are kind of in their position are, the Raiders, Cowboys, both the New York teams. I think that those guys are in a complete, holy fuck, we need to rebuild everything top down, strap it with C4. Everyone get back, fire in the hole. We're blowing this up. So we need a coach and GM like the job. But you guys, I think that you guys will be able. If you were to ask me which job I would take first, I would probably take the Jacksonville job, because I know I'll be given control. I'll be given more control. What we've learned from
job.
Yes, because I'm going to be given control. I'm not going to get control in the Dallas. I'm not going to get control in the Dallas job. I'm not going to get control in the Raiders job. I'm not going to get control at the Giants job. I'm not going to get control at the New York job. Huh?
I said you at least got Tom Brady with the Raiders. I mean, the
Tom Brady. Who does Tom Brady answer to?
Who does Tom Brady
answer to? Taco. Who does Tom Brady answer to?
Tom Brady's just a what do you call it?
He's just a figurehead. He's not. He's
just a minority. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a minority owner. He's not even the fucking majority owner. He has no say so.
Yeah, but
he's not even allowed to fucking be at practice.
He says,
"Yeah, he can't."
Who the fuck brings Tom Brady and says, "Tom Brady, you shut the fuck up. I'm not going to listen to you."
Because all he's there for is money. It's just a business thing for Tom. Tom's not allowed. Do you realize what would happen if Tom were to utter a single fucking word about football operations? He loses his stake in the team. He cannot talk, because he's also simultaneously a fucking reporter.
Well, he's not allowed inside the things once he
can't. Yes, he's not allowed to have any say so. So who's in charge at the Raiders? What family has always been in charge for the Raiders?
Taco, you can't even go into the parts of the Raiders building.
Literally.
That is different.
That's the point. He can't even do. There's certain things in his own team's thing that he can't go into, because if he finds information, he can give it to other people.
Yeah, he's not allowed. Like, he's literally he's nothing more than.
He can't look at the Raiders playbook, Taco.
Yeah, it's like he. It's not like he has like stock, because as a stock owner you have say so. Like he can't say. He's a silent partner. It's just on his resume. It's on his resume. Team owner.
He's a silent partner.
Yes, exactly. Has no say so. Can't do anything. If he goes near Shador, to try and give any mentorship or anything, he loses his stake.
He can't do what he just did at Michigan 2 days ago.
Yes. I wish they weren't in the spot, but said earlier, I wouldn't extend Lawrence at the beginning of the year when I had more time to be with you guys. Still stand by it. Here's the thing, they've already done it, and they have so many. You have so many other things that it's very casual to say go get a quarterback.
I was perfectly fine with them extending.
Lawrence. They need to have something over at least over the next couple of years. Let him really fuck up. Like get him weapons. And if he's still fucking up, okay. Don't give him these Walmart fucking rack, TJ Maxx clearance fucking rack receivers.
No, they don't have TJ Maxx. They got a little bit better. They got a little bit better than that. Receivers that are like
Ross. They got Ross receivers. They got Ross clearance fucking receivers.
No, that's Drake May, dude.
Drake
May. Yeah. He got it bad.
Kendrick Bourne, market, really? Con is in hands, oil money, brand new facility and stadium, franchise QB. That's tempting. That's hella fucking tempting. It's goodwill. It's yes. Fucking receivers that are dug out of a goddamn recycling bin. Like, no. Can't believe Fox let him do that, to be honest. I can't either. Let Tom Pelissero cook, you wankers. I'm fucking dead. So it's been our show. All right. We've had some damn good debates. Anything that you guys want to close out with before we play our outro? No one's dissing Brian Thomas Jr. He's the only good fucking thing that's going for that passing game.
I mean, I'm one of the big. Both these guys know this. I'm one of the biggest BTJ fans. It's just they just don't have anything else. I mean,
it's one dimensional. It's one dimensional.
And perfect example. I mean, to bring up another team, not to rub it in people's whatever, but like we got to be real. It's the same thing that Taco's dealing with right now. You got Malik Neighbors, but yeah, Slayton ain't gonna be able to. I mean, you got guys that aren't like you need a
clearance track wide receivers.
Yeah, you need another one. Piece. And then, like, if Wandell's your fourth wide receiver, great. Like, I would. Wandell could even be usable for fantasy as a WR4 because he can be the fill-in, whatever.
Gotcha, guys.
It's just Wandell shouldn't be a number 2, and that's what he is right now.
But I think that's part of the, right now you're going to come into a situation, you get a quarterback and you get another receiver. Ideally, a T. Higgins is a beautiful fit to this team.
I could see him. I could see him going there because I know we're getting ready to leave, but I think T's going for I think T's all about the bag and nothing but.
Nah, I mean, I don't think so because
I know we can talk about it another day, but that's just
T coming to Washington from what
I don't know, but see, I still think that's I know you're going to say it's for the ring, but I'm saying you guys are going to give him the bag where it's going to look like it could still be for the bag.
Well, because we have both. Yeah, because we have both. Yeah, we could give him both.
We got the advertising money too. He'd be a superstar out here.
Who thinks Army's beating Notre Dame?
Especially if we land a QB. Oh, he knows it's a wave. We just need to get one of these QBs. Fuck it. Fuck the veteran. Just give me one of these rookie QBs. Fuck it. We're going all in. Crash or die. Give me a rookie quarterback this year. Top quarterback. I want top 5 pick.
And then the
still
Giants.
Not going to take a quarterback.
And then the Giants become the fucking Bears. I mean, look, let's say the Giants go and do exactly what Taco fucking says, and then they become the Bears with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I know that is what would happen. But I have some hope that Dable with the shot to get a quarterback will get a quarterback because he
literally Taco on draft day is going to be like, yeah, right. Quarterback. Oh shit, we have no other fucking weapons. Oh shit, we have no offensive line. Oh no, we fucked up.
You know how bad it is to be right but not have the balls to pull the trigger. You look like a little dick. Yeah, we knew that we wanted Jaden Daniels, but we didn't have the balls to make the move.
Hey, y'all suck.
Now you get to look at him every single twice a year. and all division long. You bastards.
Look, welcome to
Cowards.
the rest of your
They're
fucking
fucking
miserable life.
cowards.
No one
Even
told
Drake
you to-
May. God damn it.
No one told you to. You have to look at every rookie quarterback from that class.
I mean, Bo Nix. Wow.
Michael Penix has 34 passing yards, and look better during that than fucking Daniel Jones did all season.
Well, we knew week 2 it was a tank. So
look. Anyways, what the fuck? Stop typing ni hao. Like what? Ni hao? What the fuck? It's I believe ni hao is Cantonese or Korean. I can't remember. No, I think it's Cantonese. Other than that, this has been Rumboyz After Dark. I'm Robbie. That's Mike. That's Taco. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what to do, dilly. We love and appreciate you all. We will catch you live Sunday. It's sounding like the bar is desperately wanting me back for IRL on Sunday. So we'll probably be live from Luchals here in Fountain, Colorado Springs. Dilly. Cheers to me. Cheers to you all the Rumboys and girls, what to do. Arrrr. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday for Rum Zone.